Hello again, and welcome to today's video. Bit of a different army showcase for once. I mean, I think, well, I've done some different ones technically, because I did the Trench Crusade one. But no, out of the normal here. Don't worry, for the people who do watch this channel for 40k stuff, next week I will do something 40k related, because I do, even though I am making my overall channel stuff a wider appeal, that's mostly just because I am more interested in just, you know, I am interested in other stuff than Warhammer. I love Warhammer. I hate the company that makes it deeply, with a passion that burns like fire in the pits of hell. But I love the game. Well, not the game, the current edition's trash. I love the setting, I should say. The setting. Anyway, but today we're doing, as the video says, my British 11th Armoured Division Army for bolt action. So I'm just going to whip it out. Somewhere where I can actually get at it without having to show a big box full of random crap on the screen. Because I didn't do much setup before starting this for some godforsaken reason. So we're going to start with the infantry. As is pretty normal with me, I'll get to all the vehicles, because this is a very vehicle-heavy list. I'm just going to grab them out. So the infantry divides down into three 5-man infantry squads and a 10-man engineer squad. For vehicle reasons. So here's one of the infantrymen. This is a Bren gun loader, so he's got the extra ammo pouches. Smoking a cigarette. I just went very classical, just sort of World War II British look for these. They've got the green icons, because that's one of the infantry divisions, I believe. All in like the same sort of colours. But something you'll notice, I cut the bayonets off the rifles. One of the reasons why was because these are mechanized. I feel like jumping out of a vehicle holding a big-ass metal spike might potentially be a health risk. just maybe. You'll also notice I painted the teeth on these. Yeah, I like painting the teeth on my bolt action guys. I don't do the eyes. Well, at least I didn't do the eyes. I actually still haven't done the eyes on my Germans, despite doing the big repaint recently, but that's just because the eyes just... I don't know, these guys are a bit too small for me to want to do eyes on. Although, I say that, all of my Empire guys for Warhammer Fantasy have their eyes done, so... but yeah, more of the regular infantry. So there's a little bit more than 15 of the regular infantry, because I was using a bunch of extra bits from a project to make these guys. I'm just putting them out in bunches. But it's... The regular squads are comprised of 4 men with rifles and 1 man with a submachine gun. Sergeant with a submachine gun, I should say, NCO. Oh yeah, this is one of the engineers. You can tell it's the engineers because they have the red. And they have the little bit of a red and blue patch, which is for the engineers. This guy is a sergeant for the regular infantry. Guys. Submachine gun. The way I do these is I paint them silver, and then I paint Basilicon grey contrast paint over to give it that sort of very worn metal look. Because, like, on my regular rifles, I paint them black. Just solid black. But, no, with the bolts, I'll sometimes do them silver for certain guns, because certain guns have, like, a silvery bolt. But with guns where they're, like, this really dark metal, like metallic grey, I do them with that method. Here is another regular infantryman with a rifle. Oh yeah, I do the bases. I just do like a nice field base for my English. I do have a bunch of commandos which are have been relegated to being allied into this force, and by allied I mean just added to this force. But they were their own army at one point. But then I took all their tanks away and gave them to, well, all is a bit of an overstatement. I took their tank away and gave it to someone else. Back during 2nd edition, for those who are newer to bolt action, 2nd edition bolt action, you could only have 1 tank in an army. Unless you were running a... This is a custom-built flamethrower I made. I sculpted the gas tank, which is very obvious because of how bulbous it is. And this is just a piece of wire. And then the flamethrower itself is actually made out of a cut-down Sten. Because the British flamethrower looks different to the M2. It's like very thing. And then I give them goggles. Little goggles. The way I did the helmets is I paint them with the same color I do the tanks, and then I paint in the... I just use, like, Xandri dust, which is the same color as the uniforms, and some army green to do the straps of material hanging out the helmets. It's a good way of doing it. It looks good. It's also good that I remember that, because if I want to do more of these infantry, because there kind of isn't that many, I have the recipe in my head still. I think that panel, was that guy an engineer? No, I guess it's just a regular one. Another regular rifleman. This one's an engineer. There we go. Just the little patch. I did an engineer squad, which I can't even, just for those who are aware, who aren't fully aware. Bolt Action 3rd edition, which I haven't played a game of yet. I'm still waiting for my game that I'm doing with my mate in a few weeks. But the 3rd edition Bolt Action, you can't bring an engineer squad and a regular rifle squad platoon anymore. You have to bring an engineer platoon to bring engineers, and you need 2 squads of them and an HQ. So this army is very much kind of locked to 2nd edition for the most part, or at least the engineer portion of it is, because I like to run my units as what they are. It's a very mentally ill way of doing it, but it works. Yeah, this is the guy that goes with the flamethrower. He's got like a gas canister, which is actually from a German kit, I think. I think it's from the German engineers kit. It's just like a box, because it wasn't a jerry can. But yeah, so he's the flamethrower's fuel man, and he's got smoking a cigarette, because that's probably a good idea when you're working with a flamethrower. Here's a Piat guy that I did. So you notice I actually drilled out the front, which I have not done this on any other Piat, and I don't know why I did it on this one. I think I was having a moment. But yeah, so this guy's got the Piat. And he does have a loader who is in here somewhere. I'm just pulling them out of the box they're in, one at a time. Another Sten gun commander, well, officer. Just kneeling, firing. Yeah, for bigger armies, you can understand why I want to get a turntable for doing this. Just put the whole unit on and just go, here's the whole unit. Another rifleman. If people are interested in the comments, I might put up a video on how I did these, because A, it will be a good refresher for if I ever want to do more infantry for my English, and B, I don't know, I feel like some people might want a very simple, very quick scheme. Although something that is a bit different is that, actually no, these were painted with my current method for doing skin. I was about to say, I don't think these used my current method. They do, they just use a slightly older version of my current method for skin. It's got a little less depth. In fact, I'll grab an example real quick. Come here, Soviet. Yeah, you'll do. So, there's my methods of doing skin. I think, honestly, the older one's a little bit better. Although this guy is a bad example. Because he is from a restoration project that is going very slow and is not about getting them perfect. It's about just getting them not to look shit. Because they did look shit. Now they look alright. Yeah. Anyway, submachine gunner. I think we're nearly done with the infantry, so that's nice. Oh no, hang on. There's like, I'll just grab out the rest, because then I can actually know when I'm done with them. One more. There we go. Right. So another rifleman. This one's an engineer. Another engineer. There's 10 engineers, so yeah, there should be 10. Well, 6 riflemen for the engineers, I think, because the engineer sergeant has a thing. Regular rifleman. Grenade. This is a Bren gunner for if I want to swap around squad compositions and sizes. I can make a 10-man regular squad with a Bren gun instead and split the engineers up. Another rifleman. Nearly done. No, another engineer rifleman. In fact, this is... Oh, no, hang on. This is the engineer squad sergeant. Oh, guess I didn't do him with a machine gun. Well, SMG, I should say. And final rifleman. Again, these are all in the same scheme, because that's... My method for doing British is very simple. It's prime them with Xandri dust, and then fill in the details with whatever the appropriate colour is. So I think I used field grey on all of these guys' webbing, because it just fit for the late war British aesthetic. Anyway, now onto the thing everyone's actually here for, which is the vehicles for my British 11th Armoured Division. So we're going to start with transports. So we'll go with the one I have one of, which is my M11, not my M113 yet. I'm thinking of fucking Vietnam there. It's my M5 half track, because the M3 and the M5 look exactly the fucking same. So I just made sure I got the markings right for the M5, basically. I'm sure someone who's a bit more rivet county will come out and be like, "You're wrong, this is why," and I'll be like, "Cool, thank you for telling me." I'm still running it as an M5 because back when I made the this army, you couldn't run an M3 half track in a British army. And the M5 is a resin metal hybrid kit, and I really didn't want it. I didn't want to mess with it. There was one resin metal hybrid kit in this entire force, and you'll see that in a moment. Anyway, so I replaced the crew. You can see kind of the crew is clearly an American guy, but I just stuck a British hat on him, which you kind of see under the visor there. And something you'll notice is I absolutely festooned these boys with stowage. I think it looks really cool when you stick loads of stowage on Allied stuff. German stuff, it kind of looks a bit off. I mean, you see it in a lot of war footage, but it just looks a bit odd when they have stowage on them. But the Allied stuff looks awesome when it's absolutely just covered in stowage. It's very good. So that's the M3 half track. That's for my. You can actually see it's got the engineer company marking here, which means it's an engineer vehicle. Because the engineers is red and blue. And you'll see on my infantry, they have the correct, like, infantry ones as well. So, like, on my brand, I have I have 3 brand carriers. All of which, again, correct marking types. And also have the 61, which is the infantry brigade, or division, I forget, that was with the 11th Armoured Division, if memory serves. When I made these last year, actually no, longer than that, nearly over a year, and like almost 2 years ago, I did all the markings, I did all the research to make sure I got the markings right. I don't remember what all the stuff means, but I know it's all correct. But all these brand carriers are basically the same. Just got 3 of them. The only major difference is, of course, the stowage is different on all of them. It's got, like, boxes of ammo and canisters and things all over them. And they're muddy as all hell. Because these guys are themed around the campaign in Normandy. So they've got, like, you'll see on the tanks when we get to them just in a moment. They've got the sort of hedge cutters and things. But here's a Hummer scout car I did. Based on it as a photograph, I'll put it up on screen. You see like a Hummer scout car with the 11th Armoured Division leading up like a big column of tanks. And there's like a comet behind it. I kind of wish I'd gotten a comet when I did these. It would have been pretty cool to have a comet. My mate's got a comet for his desert British, even though they didn't have comets in the desert, but he kind of likes to use them as a desert into Italy kind of thing. Oh yeah, so there's my little Hummer scout car. He's the only vehicle I have based, and it's because metal wheels. I don't like the idea of having to repaint the fucking wheels every single time I use it. So he got based. I would honestly, I've got a Team Yankee project in the works, and I'm considering buying bases for every single vehicle for that, because I've got a bunch that have metal wheels and metal tracks, and I really don't like the idea of scratching up the tracks when I play the fucking game. Anyway, onto the tanks now, the thing people actually care about. So these are, all of my tanks are Sherman variants, because I wanted to do a Sherman, like a historically accurate Sherman platoon, or Sherman troop in British terminology. So we have the Princess, which is number 42, because, well, my girlfriend was going to paint this one, and she likes Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Literally that is the reason for the name and the number, was because she wanted to paint it, and I thought it'd be funny, and I let her pick the name off the transfer sheet, and she went that one. So that's why. But yeah, so absolutely festooned with stowage, as is the norm. The way I do my transfers, which I talked about in my tank video that I did for my Germans, is I put the transfers on before I do any of the other stuff. I just get the main color down, then I do the transfers, then I do all the details. Because it means that when you do the weathering, everything comes out nice and weathered appropriately. Anyway, so that's Princess, or the Princess, I should say. Then the next one, these are the 2 that were in last month's progress log, because I finally got them finished. So we have the Viscount, This was the other one that was in last month's progress log, so you will have already seen this one in my pictures. Yeah, nice stowage. Again, I love doing this. Again, allied vehicles just look so good when you cover them in stowage. Big reason why I like the stowage look is also because, and I might get some hate for this, but I really like the movie Fury, and the fucking tanks in that movie are just absolutely decked out in stowage. I like that film so much. Long before Warlord Games bought out their plastic Easy 8, I got the resin one as a gift from a friend, and I converted to Fury. I'll probably put it in a video at some point, or I might put a picture of it up now. Anyway, so next one up is Satan's Chariot. You'll notice I did like as if the crew had chalked on a little 6 before the other 2 6s. Because, funny. And also, it felt like very British humour to have your number 66 tank called Satan's Chariot and some member of the crew's just chalked on an extra 6. Just to really piss people off. Not people in real life, I mean, just like, you know, at the time. That probably would have been not particularly liked by anyone. Yeah, they've all got the correct markings, and I believe the red means they are first platoon in their company. I could be wrong. I might look it up and put a yes or no in the top corner in this segment, but the red markings I believe means their first platoon, or it might mean their third platoon of the tank company. But now we're going for the... Oh, actually, sorry, I should point out another detail I did on this one. I did the tracks on the front of the armor, because I like that. Like, you see like lots of historical photos of Shermans like that. There's like one where it's absolutely covered in tracks. Even though it was pointless, from a historical perspective, like from a modern perspective, we know it was completely fucking pointless, because it didn't do shit to stop shape charges and stuff. But, it was always very interesting, like, seeing pictures of it in historical footage and stuff. But here is Old Bill, my Firefly. I wanted a Firefly. That was the main reason I did this army, was I wanted an excuse to do a Firefly. And I didn't have any British forces that really would have felt appropriate to have a Firefly with, so I did a little mechanized company. My British forces aren't really my biggest contingent in bolt action. I made 3 commando, and custom made a model of Mad Jack Churchill, and then I've got a Polish 1st Airborne force, and I've got a winter-themed British force with an M5 Stuart that's absolutely covered in, like I customed it. You know the camo where it's like strips of canvas, just like draped over the whole armor, canvas camo or whatever it is. So I didn't really have any forces I felt were appropriate, because I didn't want to paint a winter Firefly. I wanted to do a nice Normandy Firefly. Again, bocage wall, fucking hedge cutters. Yeah, this was a fun one to do. I like doing the Firefly. The painting the barrel with the barrel camouflage was quite fun. It doesn't really work. I mean, it does sometimes work. I've held it up at a distance, like put it at a distance and had a look, and it kind of does work, which is really funny. And makes sense why they did it so often. But it was a fucking pain in the ass to paint, because I had to get the wobbles correct to make it look right. But yeah, so that's my British 11th Armoured Division. I quite enjoyed painting these. I'm just gonna line up all the big boys, all the Shermans. Oh, I just bumped my hand off my desk. That hurt. All my nice Shermans. I might do some Cromwells at some point. That I think would be quite fun. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I know it's a bit of a quick one this week. Well, quicker than my usual stuff anyway. This week. Rest assured, I will be doing something interesting next week. I just had a moment and completely shit the bed when it comes to making sure I put out a video within a reasonable time. So, thank you for watching, again. I hope to see you in the next video. And please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what projects you're working on. You know, because I like seeing comments. I don't get many. I like the comments I've been getting, though. They're quite nice. I did think people would probably be weird, like, you know, I thought I'd get more comments. Because because people always talk about how much people love to absolutely hate on an MF. But I never get any negative comments. It's really nice. I like seeing the positive stuff that people say, because frankly, despite my very dour demeanour in real life, I am quite positive generally. Or at least I try to be. I fail a lot at it, but I do try. But yes, thank you for watching. Have a good week.